Peter has an early morning school, so he needs to wake up early. After waking up, he goes to the washroom to get freshened up. So what is facilitating this movement of his legs? See, there is a special tissue in our body known as the muscle tissue, contraction and relaxation of which facilitates the movement. See, his muscles are contracting and then relaxing, and this process continues, which helps it in his movement. After getting freshened up, he packs his bag. Even then, the muscles in his arms are contracting and relaxing. See, it's contracting and then relaxing again. Even during eating, the muscles in his mouth, they are contracting and relaxing, and that facilitates the chewing of food. Then he goes to school. In the evening, after returning home, he does a few light exercises. So even during exercising, the muscles in his shoulders and back are contracting and relaxing, and that is facilitating the flexing of his body. So all these muscles present in the various parts of his body, they facilitate movement in his body. And all these movements are under his control. When he wanted to walk or when he wanted to stretch his hand, these muscles contracted and relaxed and facilitated this movement. So these movements are all under his voluntary control and hence determined or facilitated by the voluntary muscles present in Peter's body. Now see, voluntary muscles remain attached to the skeletal framework. See, this is the voluntary muscle present in the legs, and this is a skeletal bone of the leg. And together, the muscles and bones associated together facilitates movement in the leg. Similarly, in all the other parts of the body, like the hands. So since voluntary muscles remain attached to the skeletal bones or the skeletal framework of the body, therefore, voluntary muscles are also known as the skeletal muscles because they remain attached to the skeletal bones, and bones and the voluntary muscles together facilitate movement in a body. Now, Peter has to pack his bag for school. So, he's taking all the books from the shelf. See, his muscles are relaxing and then contracting, and this process continues, and this facilitates his taking of books. See, these are the muscle fibers, and this is one single muscle cell, which is contracting and relaxing. And this is because of the presence of these thinner and the thicker filaments which are contracting and relaxing. So this is an individual muscle cell. See, they have alternate light bands. These are the light bands and alternate dark bands, giving the muscle cell a very striped appearance. Now, why is there this striped appearance? Well, if you look inside a muscle cell, you'll see this. There are these thinner filaments. These are the thinner filaments, and there are these thicker filaments. So these thinner filaments and the thicker filaments is giving this striped appearance to the muscle cell. So since voluntary or skeletal muscles have a striated or a striped appearance, it is also known as the striated muscles. striated because they have a very striated or a stripe-like appearance because of the presence of these thinner and the thicker filaments present in the muscle cell. Just like cells have an outer covering as the cell membrane, and the cell membrane encloses a liquid matrix or the cellular fluid known as the cytoplasm. Similarly, a muscle cell is bound by this covering known as the sarcolemma, and the sarcolemma is enclosing a fluid matrix within it known as the sarcoplasm. So just like an animal cell has a cell membrane which encloses a cytoplasm, which is the cellular fluid, a muscle cell is bound by a sarcolemma and it encloses within it a fluid matrix known as the sarcoplasm. So striated muscles, which are the voluntary muscles, look like this under the microscope. Now notice, this is an individual cell. This is another cell. Now see, within these individual cells are these dark structures. So what are these dark structures present in these muscle cells? Well, they are the nuclei or the nucleus present inside these muscle cells. Since there are more than one nucleus present in these cells, the plural of nucleus is nuclei. So muscle cells or the voluntary muscle cells have many nuclei in their cells and hence known as the multinucleated cells. So striated muscles have multinucleated cells because they have more than one nucleus in one cell. So voluntary muscles are those which are under our control. They cause voluntary movement that are completely according to our will. These muscles have a very striated appearance because of the thinner and the thicker filaments and hence are also known as the striated muscle. And these striated muscles have multiple nuclei in their cells and so are known as multinucleated cells. So the voluntary muscles, they contain cells, individual cells that contain more than one nucleus and hence known as the multinucleated cells. Now, can you guess the amount of voluntary muscles present in our body? Well, if a person's weight is around 64 kgs, and if you remove all his voluntary muscles from the body, he'll weigh only about 32 kgs, which is almost 50% of his body's weight. So voluntary muscles form 50% of the body's weight. So if a person weighs 64 kgs, he'll weigh only 32 kgs after all the voluntary muscles have been removed.